Hello and welcome to the show. Listen, I'm excited about today's show. This month, we're celebrating the power of education. This is our series about what's happening in education, and I tell you what, we've got some surprising guests for you. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy, because we're coming up next. The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com. Welcome back to the show. Well, listen, I told you we've got a great show planned for you. I've got some amazing guests. Amazing guests. But before I introduce them, I do want to say thank you. Thank you for taking your time out on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock to watch the Tammy Show. This will be my 1-year anniversary, as I have been virtual since August the 20th of 2020. Now, most of you might not know, or some of you do know, I've been on television for over 16 plus years, but I started to think, what could I do while we were in the pandemic? And I was taking a hiatus. So now, hey, August the 20th, 2020. 1-year anniversary. And I want to thank Tiana and I want to thank Alicia, my producers, for always being here with me and supporting me. And thank you, viewers, for always tuning in. All right, so let's get to it. The power of education. When I tell you I've got some amazing guests, these are wonderful college students from all over the state of South Carolina. They represent Claflin University, the University of South Carolina, and also Winthrop. So without further ado, Tiana, let's bring them from backstage. Come on in, everyone. Hello. Hey. Wow. And Tiana. So I'm going to start with you all. I want you to introduce yourself to everyone, so you can take yourself off mute. Want you to introduce yourself to everyone. Want you to tell us your name, your hometown, your school, and your major. I'm going to start with Faith.
Hello, everyone. My name is Faith Lomax. I was born and raised on the east side of Greenville, South Carolina. I'm a senior, and I'm majoring in Mass Comm with a minor in English.
All right. Next, Devin.
My name is Devin Cherry. I'm from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Okay, yeah, and I go to Winthrop University, and I major in mass communication.
All right. And Miss Raquel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Raquel Abrams. I am from Lawrence, South Carolina. I'm currently attending Claflin University. I'm a junior. My major is business administration and criminal justice, and I also minor in psychology.
All right, Miss Raquel. And Mr. Nick.
Hi, my name is Nick Lillibridge. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I am a senior at the University of South Carolina, and I am a geological science major.
Wow. All right, Mr. Nick. And Miss Anaya.
Hi everyone. My name is Anaya Whaley. I am a second-year/third year student here at Claflin University. My major is mass communications with dual concentrations in digital media and PR, and minor in English. And I'm from Orangeburg, South Carolina.
All right. And wow, thank you, Miss Anaya, for that introduction. And finally, my assistant producer, none other than Miss Tiana. Come on, Tiana.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tiana Springs. I'm from Rock Hill, South Carolina, and I go to Claflin University. I am a mass communications major with a minor in applied computing.
Oh, all right. Well, listen, thank you all for joining the show again. This is about the power of education. So listen, you all are back in school. I want to find out from you, what has your experience been like coming back to school? How has it been for you? I'm going to start with you, Nick, at USC.
It's just been really nice and refreshing to get back in the classroom and things getting back to normal. It was kind of tough, with all the virtual classes last year, so I think it's just really refreshing to get back to as mostly normal as we can be, I guess.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Raquel, what about you? Well,
I gotta agree. This experience has been refreshing because as I think about it, the virtual times it was hard. Teachers, communication, we wasn't on the same page. Education wise, us as students, we just had to do our best. Everyone else as teaching and being a student, it was two different levels when it came
mhm.
to that. But we all worked together, and it was all about becoming one, adapting to this because we had to at a short period of time.
That's right. And so, Devin, your experience coming back, what has it been like?
It's been really good. It was a little stressful at times coming back because I had to get back in the routine of coming back. But overall, it was good, refreshing, and a good experience so far. Way better than the
Wow,
virtual classes.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And Anaya, how about you?
My experience is totally different. I started my first year virtual, and that
Hmm.
was very hard. Learning things about the school, getting acclimated to, where certain classrooms are at, or how do approach this person or reach that person. It was very hard, but I'm very grateful to be, here on campus, and to experience clapping a little bit more and get more involved and have more face-to-face interactions with my professors and the student body.
That's great. That's great. And what about you, Faith, coming back?
It has been an experience. Like I said before, I'm a senior, and so I've basically just like the last 2 years in person. Um, so it's been different. It's been very different, especially like if I'm being completely honest. When I was at home and they dropped like the mask mandate, I wasn't really wearing my mask anywhere, like where I was going. So when I came back to school and they were like, "Oh, well, you guys have to wear a mask everywhere," inside the classroom, when you're walking outside on the campus, it was it's been a struggle, but I've been doing it
Good.
because it feels good to be back, and it feels good to be back around like my peers. I was at home doing classes online, and just looking at a screen and having to watch them and do different things and interact with them like virtually. It feels better to do that in person.
That's
So.
good. That's wonderful. Thank you, Faith. And Tiana, what has it been like? I keep up with you every week. So coming back to school, what has that been like for you?
It's better to be kind of somewhat back in our normal environment. Like I can actually see my classmates and actually see who I'm talking to over the computer. And it's still a little different with only a certain amount of us can be in a class at the same time, but I'm glad I can do more one-on-one being with my teachers.
Hmm. So this next question I'm going to ask you, and you all talked about coming back, but I want to find out, what did you miss? What was it? What did you miss about being on campus? I can only imagine. Raquel, I'm going to start with you.
Um, I have to say, I miss being with my friends because as coming in at being at a HBCU, you normally get that family vibe, and it's more so at Claflin. We all come together as one. So when one person's struggling, we all are struggling, and that there for me was enough. It allowed so much stress to be on me, to the point to where I felt like I couldn't do school normal after
Mm,
that. It was like I felt like I'm by myself. I'm sitting here looking at a computer screen every single day, and I'm having to email my teachers instead of being face to face. It was just horrible for me, honestly. If I had to speak for myself, it was horrible. I didn't like the experience of being virtual.
hmm. So you missed your friends. Nick, what did you miss from USC?
I just miss, a lot of the interaction between, friends, other students, professors, It was just hard. You really couldn't do that the same way being virtual. So, and especially with a lot of my classes that I was taking, they had
Mm-hmm.
to be modified because they usually involve a lot of like field work, getting out in the actually in the field.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't able to do that, unfortunately, last year. So it's good to get back this year and hopefully be able to do that now.
That's great. And what about you, Faith? What did you miss
Um,
most?
piggybacking off of what Raquel said, I think that the thing I missed the most was the fellowship and being around, like my people,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of hard to say at the same time for me because due to the pandemic, a lot of the people that are in my class that I hung with, almost every day, they didn't return back to school.
Mm.
And a lot of them are virtual as well. So it's been a struggle, to really hang with people, but I get to hang with my LSs in person and because we have to go through our process like virtual. So it's been it's been fun to get back in the swing of things as far as just being in person and being able to chill and hang out and go do stuff. And I actually have a choir this semester. So yeah, that's what I miss the
Oh,
most.
all right. And who? And what sorority? Faith.
I am a part of Zeta Phi Sorority Incorporated.
All
Yes, ma'am.
right. All right. Okay. And Anaya, what did you miss?
To be honest, there was nothing to miss. I came in as a
Oh,
freshman,
that's right.
so I would just say I remember like being in my room reminiscing and watching like college vlogs and like
Mm-hmm.
homecoming. Like I kind of had a fixed idea of what it was supposed to be like, but then of course because of COVID we couldn't come back until I think it was September, October, the first semester. So it wasn't anything to miss. I was looking forward to a lot of things, but due to COVID, I mean, things changed. So it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
nothing to miss. It was just people kept on talking about it and posting pictures. And I was like, I haven't even gotten on campus yet. Like, hold up, y'all. Like, I want to see campus for myself. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
So you happy? And what about you, Mr. Devin?
I
What
miss
did you
seeing the
miss?
students and other. I miss seeing the students and other teachers because
Mm-hmm.
most of the time I spent my time alone at home on my laptop trying to do the schoolwork. And I was also a transfer student, so for the first year, I never was on campus at Winthrop. So I still don't
Mm.
know the campus that well. So hopefully this semester I'll learn the campus, get to know the buildings.
That's right. And Miss Tiana, what did you miss about being on Claflin's campus?
I really miss, like, same as like other people, being with my friends, being away from my family because I was with them for too long, and basically homecoming because then there was
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do. I was just stuck at home.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I will tell you, being from an HBCU myself, the big HU, Bison Country, you really get that experience, and it's hard because for you all, this pandemic has really been very hard. I can only imagine virtual learning. Even with me doing meetings on Zoom, it's still hard. It was still hard during the pandemic because we were seeing each other. We couldn't hug each other. Hey, with meetings and all of that. So I get it. So now let's talk about careers because as you all are matriculating through your universities, I want to find out what is it that you look to do in your career. What's the career path that you have chosen? All right, I'm going to start with you, Devin.
I think I wanted to become like a news reporter one day or a news anchor. At first, I wanted to be a meteorologist, but I quickly changed my mind when I went to Winthrop and I learned how hard it would be to be a meteorologist. So I
Uh-huh.
decided to become news anchor. But I have a hard time because I haven't had um any experience because of the
Mm-hmm.
COVID. I haven't had an internship yet. So now there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of internships coming out. I had an email to me today. So hopefully I get the chance to.
Good. That's great. That's great. And Anaya?
I don't know. I have my feet wet in so many things. with social media marketing and personal branding and PR stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't like to put a title on things, but I would say maybe like a multimedia journalist, definitely, or like a communication specialist. Just knowing a lot of skills and being well versed in the communications field. That's
Mm-hmm.
probably what it is. It was a journalist as well. It still is, of course, to be an anchor. But I said, you know what? I want to be marketable. So let me,
Mm-hmm.
tap into different skills like, graphic design, personal branding, and lighting, and PR and stuff. That's
Okay.
where I'm going. That's where I'm
Sound like a CEO to me.
going.
Okay. Okay, Raquel. What about your career path? What are you thinking about?
I've been thinking about becoming a lawyer.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I haven't decided what steps I want to take yet,
Uh
like if I
huh.
want to be a defensive lawyer yet, but that's the path I want to go down.
All right. So we're gonna see you be doing a lot of reading. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
And Nick, how about you?
So I haven't completely decided what exactly I want to do as a career, but there's with my major geology, there's a lot of different paths I could go. Um, and I've also been thinking about doing a graduate school after I finish my bachelor's. So, but I've thought about working for the United States Geological Survey, um, and other things, but I haven't completely decided yet.
Wow, that's exciting. Geological science. Wow.
Yes.
All right, Miss Faith, your career path. Have you thought about that? You're a
Yes, ma'am.
senior.
So first, I want to get started in radio. Um, and start off in my hometown. Start small. Well, not necessarily small, but start where it's familiar to me, and start off there. And then I also want to do TV as well. So I want to be a radio and TV personality, and
Okay.
just talk about different topics. Get it out there.
Okay.
Something similar to what we're doing right now.
Okay.
And just put discussions out there on the table and get everybody talking about it and get everybody's momentum up and going and running so we can keep striving and persevering through especially hard times like what we're going through right now.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, Faith, so you give me a call. All right? So we can talk. All right, Miss Tiana.
Since I've worked here, I kind of changed paths. I want to do producer, or either television or film, or like background production work, either or. I'm kind of tied to both.
And you do a really good job, too.
Thank
So, you know what? I'm excited for all of you all. I thank you for sharing that because sometimes when you share with people, there are people who are watching and who are listening to us that may say, "Oh, I need an intern. I need an intern to help me do social media. I need somebody who can do broadcasting, journalism. I need somebody who can work in a judge's office." Nick, you out there, geological, just give us some of those rocks and all that kind of stuff,
That's
and
right.
of course Faith and Tiana, radio, TV. You're doing it now, so I'm glad to hear you all say and know that kind of where you want to be, and that you are not boxing yourself in because you're looking at other opportunities. So tell me this. What is on your mind today as it relates to your education and where you're going? Does that give you any kind of anxiety? Are you feeling anxiety about it now, especially for our seniors? What's on your mind when it comes to that? I'm going to start with I'll start with you, Nick, because you are a senior as well, and then Faith, you're a senior,
Yeah, so I'm
and Tiana.
actually feeling pretty good about where everything's at right now. Not really too much anxiety. Uh, you
Good.
know, it helps getting back in person with things getting back to normal, and yeah, I feel pretty good how things are right now with my education.
Good. And Faith, what about you? What's on your mind? Do you feel that there's anxiety as being a senior and the next steps?
Yes, I feel some creeping up. It's been trying to at least, and I was just talking about this the other day, like as far as just feeling like I need to do more. Feeling like I need to put myself out there more because I have so much potential. And it's like it's been hibernating. I've been hibernating, and I've been like shying away from what I'm really supposed to be doing right now. When I know exactly, like, okay, this is your game plan. You just need to set a course. And I've just been like, I'll do that later. And later is like now. It's about to be time is about to be up for me. Like I'm about to be graduating from undergrad, and I I just feel like I need to be doing something bigger and better right now. Because I know that I have a lot of gifts and talents that I'm ready to share with the world, and I just need to put my foot out and just start doing it.
That's right. Just do it. And Devin, you're a senior as well. How are you feeling these
Yeah, I do
days?
feel good. I feel a little anxiety because sometimes I think that I'm not doing the right thing. If I'm in the right major, if I'm going down the right path. And sometimes I almost, like last semester, I only took two classes because I almost didn't take any classes. So I'm just feeling that anxiety, trying to keep going forward. But I think I'm going down
Yeah.
the right path, hopefully.
You are. You are. And Anaya?
Yeah, so when the pandemic first hit, I assessed a lot of my career goals. I wrote down a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish, and I was like, I'm going to tackle it. And I had to be real with myself and say, some of these internships, they may increase and they may go down because some companies may not be able to pay interns or even keep their employees afloat. So what I
Mm-hmm.
started doing, I really got into freelancing, which I would recommend to anybody. It's like one of the best things besides internships. Freelancing, you work at your own pace, you make your own hours. Some are contract, some are not. To get into freelancing, if you're good at something, writing, production, whatever, you can get paid on the table, you can get paid, with the checkbooks, whatever. But freelancing definitely helped a lot because you're always able to get a gig at the last minute to, pay for whatever, do what you got to do. So to go back to your question, anxiety, yes, but no, because I'm hopeful that my skills as a Black woman in this career will really push through because you don't see a lot, I mean, of us in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to go, I'm trying to get it. Yes, you can rest, but you need to push through. You need to be at the top of your game at your age.
All
The
right.
time is really now. So anxiety, that goes out the roof once I walk and I do what I gotta do when I see it.
Oh,
So
I,
I'm hoping for the future.
I love it. Love it. I saw Faith snapping. Everybody start snapping. I love it. I love it. So, Tiana, I'm going to save you for last. But, Raquel, what about you? How do you feel now? What are your thoughts as you're moving, gliding through this? You've got one more year.
Honestly, I'm a little nervous,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not too nervous to not get everything done that I plan to get done. Um, like like I believe Anaya was saying, with everyone not seeing that there's a lot of Black owned businesses out here, I took it upon myself freshman year to start my own business then in education.
Okay.
So anxiety has hit, but it
Mm-hmm.
hasn't hit enough for me to give up. I felt like giving up, but I didn't. So the answer to your question, when I do reach a senior, I will be prepared for it because I won't give up. I won't let the anxiety get the best of me. And I do hope that I continue to push out everything that I have in me because I have so much potential that I just don't show. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I just choose that sometimes it's best to save it for later.
That's right.
So yeah, yes, ma'am.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, um, don't give up and don't give in. I'm going to tell you, in order for you to get to where you want to go, you've got to have that attitude that I'm going to do it. So when that anxiety or, that thing that says, oh, am I good enough? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing this? Don't let it get to you. That's only the enemy trying to tell you, oh, you can't do this. But on the other hand, you know that you can. Tiana, you finish it out. How are you feeling about your next steps?
It is a little bit of anxiety because I'm afraid after I graduate, I might not find a job because I'm not trying to make that happen. I'm not trying to go back to work at my little 9 to 5. We're trying to push bigger and better. So
Uh-huh.
I'm really trying to get everything together with my portfolio, getting things on it that'll help me boost up when I'm out there looking for jobs.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Anybody else want to say anything else about that subject? I see Faith, you're doing a lot of writing, my dear. You want to say anything?
Oh no, I've been writing down people's names, to make connections. Really,
See? Wow.
yeah, because I see like it's a lot of talent, especially HBCUs. We have it's a lot of talent, and I want to tap into that, and
That's
so
right.
I'm just writing down names, making observations. I'm trying to network.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. All of you on here, I know you have your own network. And that's the beauty of while you're in school making those connections as you're getting ready to enter into your career fields. Nick, you're at USC. So I know there's a lot of opportunities that you have there at USC. Are you planning to stay in Columbia or are you ready to branch out as well?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that as far as where I go after school is done. I
Mm-hmm.
could potentially see myself staying in Columbia, but I could see myself moving to in this field. There's a lot of jobs that could be like out west,
Mm-hmm.
so I've been thinking about maybe moving out there too. Right now, I'm not sure. I could see myself really being anywhere, to be honest.
Wow. Well, Nick, when you strike gold, just remember everybody on here, right, y'all?
Yeah,
when
of
if he
course.
digs up that gold out in the west, listen, we want to look just a little piece of it,
Oh, of
okay?
course, definitely.
That's the beauty of networking. I have enjoyed talking with you all. We're going to get ready to go into our second segment, but as you are thinking about how, and I want you to think about this because there are some folks who are listening, and one of the things I know that they're thinking about is how was it for you during the pandemic? So I want you to think about that. I want you to also think about what this education has done for you. And I'm going to let Tiana, as we go into the second segment, Tiana is going to take over, all right? Because y'all going to be able to talk to each other. I'm only the vehicle because I wanted to just have the first segment to get to know you and to tell you I'm very proud of you, and I want to thank you so much for being on the show. I mean, this is really a true blessing for me, as this is the power of education. It's a time for people to see what students think, what young people have to say, not what the old. Nah, I'm not that old, but you know what I'm saying. And so I want to thank you again. I'm still going to be on, Tiana. I'm still going to tag team with you, but you're going to take over, and you all going to talk one on one to each other. And I mean, just have this conversation. Open it up. If there's something on your mind, open your mic up so that you all can have the conversation. Is that all right with everybody? Okay, and that's what's going to happen with everybody out there. So, folks, if you're listening and you have some comments or some questions that you'd like to ask these young people, please, now's the time for you to put them in the chat, and we're going to get going from there. Tiana, all right, we getting ready to go to commercial. We'll be right back. Thank you all again.
The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com.
All right, we're back on the show. And for folks that are just joining us, this is about the power of education. We have some amazing college students from Claflin University, USC, and for those that don't know, Claflin's located in Orangeburg, South Carolina, University of South Carolina in Columbia, and Winthrop up in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I think that's right. Yeah, Rock Hill.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now my assistant producer is going to take over because she's also a college student from Claflin University, Miss Tiana Springs. Let's get it, Tiana.
All right. And we're all college students and we kind of go through like learn our system of college. So with all our experiences, especially seniors, do you feel that college has you prepared for your future careers? And if anybody wants to go, we sorry. Nick.
Yeah, I think it's got me mostly prepared, but I think there's in some ways maybe not as much as maybe in the past because of COVID and how that affected things. But and we'll see how this year goes. But I'm feeling like I'm getting pretty prepared for my career field.
Faye.
Yeah, I feel like college has prepared me. They told me it's one thing in high school I got told by all my teachers that college is not the same as high school, but they try to make it seem like this big scary place. But once I got here, it was hard, but I learned to adapt and adjust. And especially during this pandemic, it's all about adapting and adjusting and getting used to different things and thinking outside the box. And you can't always be closed-minded about things. So it's really helped me in that aspect, as far as just going and never allowing myself to just be in the same field and in the same place, because that's not what, if I want to go get a job in my field, a career in my field, it's not about just being in a standstill. So yeah, it's just really helped me to adapt and adjust and work harder towards being a jack of all trades.
Devin.
Yes, I think my college has got me prepared for my future. But I also think there's things that we have to do as students to get ourselves prepared and learn other new things such as internships and stuff like that.
I agree. Because like some things like they can help us out, but sometimes you got to push yourself more and do things on your own. Okay, and Raquel.
I just want to confirm, did I hear your question correct? Because you was going in and out. You asked, have college have helped us in our experience?
That like basically helped you prepare for your career.
Okay, so I have to say yes, it did. I also have to say no because I had mentors. I watched people as I grew up, and I knew like that's how I want to be. I want to be that successful in life. But also, college did play a role with me because as I started to sprout out and I saw, wow, I'm around over 300 kids here and they're like me. They're out here trying to find themselves just like me. Why not network and become more friends with them so I'll know like what they're doing, what I'm doing, what level are we both on, and is it possible we could all connect together? So college again for me was probably the best experience I could have had because where I'm from, it's a small town. And I probably would have never got this experience if I didn't come to Claflin or specifically at HBCU itself. I probably would have never known what it would have felt like to be a part of a HBCU. The family itself, I do have family. We are very connected, but it's a whole different vibe. And us as students, we all know that. When we go home, like you said, Tiana, home for me, yeah, stressful. I can't do that. My parents, my parents, let alone I love them to death, but they could be a little aggravating, all up on me, ready to get on me about something, but I love them. It's just the whole college vibe is something different. It's something that allows us as students develop ourselves and gather that maturity. So that's what I gathered more out of college since my past 2 years. This year here has actually allowed me to do what I didn't do my freshman and sophomore year, and that is to network more.
Because connecting is key. And Anaya.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Do you feel that during your matriculation that you are prepared to enter your career field?
Yeah, definitely. One thing that I think that transformed a lot for me, especially my freshman year, I think I did pretty good. I was able to secure a paid internship, like two paid internships. But I think one thing that really helped me after reflecting on it was I looked up this word and I found it out. It was really I invited intentionality in my life. During the pandemic, I had to access a lot of things. And after high school, I still talk to some people, but majority of the people I probably don't have that same relationship with because I was like, are you bringing, intentional feelings in my life? Are you helping me? Are you helping me grow? Are you helping me, with the success of my career? So I was very intentional about my goals. And one thing I did do, I did research. I found a mentor who's very helpful, who really, helped me along the way, not only professionally, but also personally, and really just, taught me the way. But I was intentional about who I was making friends with and who I was talking to and who I was networking with. Because, we're not going to be talking and gossiping all day. We need to talk about, building our credit. We need to talk about school. We need to
Yes.
talk about network. We need to talk about attending seminars and workshops and building our resume and things like that were really important to me my freshman year, and it still is important today. So I've been very intentional about who I invite in my circle because my circle is very small. I'd rather have three good people than 10 people who cannot provide anything for me or build me up or,
Yes.
increase me in any type of way or, make me more money or help me grow mentally, spiritually, financially, educationally, academically, things like that. So be very intentional about who you have in your circle. Not all people are good people. But yeah, college
Very
definitely
true.
help.
Hey, may I interject? Tiana, I love that word. That has been a word for me for many years at the beginning of the year. Intentional. Because it's important, as you all are talking, I'm listening to you. This conversation is really great because what it says to me is that you all are intentional. Just by you being here on the show, you're intentional about who you're going to meet, how you're networking. And just like Faith said, she's writing down your name so that you all can network. Thank you so much for that, Anaya. Miss Tiana, I'm going to let you do it.
Let's see. As we are college students, sometimes some colleges we feel that we don't get enough resources, whether it's from financial aid financially or through like with classes or helping finding internships or helping with resumes because that's hard. Do you feel like at your schools, do you feel like you have had the correct resources to help you? And I'm gonna start with Faith.
Hmm. Resources. My freshman year, I'd say it was definitely there. Like because all of my professors, in the mass comm department, everybody was still here, and everybody, the majority was willing to help and willing to like put us onto new things and plug us in with different people. We had people coming in left and right, like coming to talk to us and um, giving us opportunities. And so with us being virtual, it's like all the enthusiasm and the help and all of that, it kind of like flew out the window. And so coming back, the mass comm department, I don't know, it's kind of it's trying to stay strong. So I don't really necessarily think right now I'm really getting the resources that I need from school, but it's been there, and I feel like it's gonna get back to where it's supposed to be. So the resources will come back through. We have a lot of people who have graduated and they're in high positions in TV and radio and behind the scenes, and so yeah, I feel like it's there and it can get back to where it always has been.
Same. It is a little different since the pandemic coming back. Is mass compartment is very different. Devin,
Yeah, I think since the pandemic, the resources there hasn't been much resources to the students, and I've been getting emails and stuff, but it's not really that helpful. I like going talking to people face to face about my issues. It's always hard for me to read 100 million emails I get a day.
And Nick.
Yeah, you mentioned the financial aspect of it, and especially with last year, it's not cheap going to University of South Carolina and paying the full tuition last year when it was largely virtual. I didn't feel like you're getting the same kind of resources out of it compared to like a regular year. So I feel like maybe they should have made it a bit cheaper, but this year I think it'll be better having being able to get back in classes and be face to face with your professors. So I feel like I do have the proper resources I need now.
Raquel.
I have to agree with Nick, honestly, because virtual, like we said, the school year and this tuition is high. And if we speaking on politics, Biden actually was passing the law for the forgiveness loans that he was. So if that really does come into effect, I do believe that should play a role with our virtual tuition because we didn't have a lot of resources. I know I didn't, and I'm pretty sure with some of us being from the same school and USC not being too far away from being behind us. Also, Winthrop itself wasn't given a lot of financial assistance either. Because I do know a few students that go there. But tuition is not cheap, honestly. It's not cheap, and it's not something that we can just say, "Hey, oh, I got this. Let's go out here. Let's just put this many classes on our schedules. We got money to continue to pay for it." That's not something that we have. And with the resources at school, especially when I was a freshman, like Faith was saying, we had all the resources then, just about. Everyone was concerned about making sure we was in a good position. We knew to apply for which scholarship. We knew what we qualified for. And now it's just like the emailing, yeah, it can be helpful for ones who actually sits there and read their emails. But if you don't take that time to read your emails in depth and then turn around and ask questions, it's not going to be beneficial for you. And at the end of the day, if you don't read those emails or you don't take the time out to do anything that's sent to you, you're not going to get anywhere regardless. And I feel freshman year, a lot of people fall back on that freshman year thinking that everything is going to be handed to them. But as mentioned before, we're Black students. We're all attending HBCUs. We're all attending a variety of different things because we have that much potential. And for us to sit here and sit back and not do anything about it and like focus on what we have to do to succeed, nobody else is going to focus on that but you. And if you don't put forth the effort to do that, who else is going to do it? Because everybody really out here for themselves at this point. We have to come together and know who you want in your circle, like Anaya said. 3 people, maybe enough. Maybe 5, but 10 and not knowing like what path they're going down in, you have to pay close attention to who you let in your circle. Because honestly, if you ask me, I really don't have anybody in my circle. I depend on myself to get everything done. I have an agenda I focus on. That agenda goes everywhere with me, even if I'm going to the bathroom, because the bathroom, honestly, is my quiet place. That's my quiet place where I get everything done. The agenda, the phone, because nowadays everything is on the phone, how everything turned virtually. So that's my go-to. Closet, bathroom, one of them. Somewhere I know I can be alone to focus on what I have to get done. Because if I don't focus on it, nobody else will.
Okay. And Anaya.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna bring everything. I'm gonna bring it all together. So yes, I think there are resources at your school. I think it's overcoming uncomfortability. you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
You have to get to a point where you're uneasy, where you don't like it, where you're, having questions, where you're thinking about it, where you're like, what? My first virtual class, I almost had a breakdown. I joined the wrong Zoom link, wrong professor, wrong time. Everything was messed up. Like, I was so uncomfortable. Like, I didn't know what to say. I was lost. I was stuck. That was the most challenging class was the class that I love now. The class that the professor that I have the most regard and respect for, the professor who wrote my recommendations for my scholarships. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And in the most uncomfortable situations, that is where you grow more. That is where you meet more people. That is where you build connections and relationships, your professors, your peers. There are a lot of opportunities out there, but sometimes people don't read emails, sometimes they don't respond, sometimes they're not staying on top of things. Sometimes they don't ask the questions. I mean, if you go to people and you just tell them, like, hey, I'm having financial issues. I know we can do that. Like, hey, I'm having some issues. I need some counseling. There are people in the right places that can help you get where you need to be, but you may have to put your pride aside, let it go, be uncomfortable. For seniors, if you need research, you may have to say, okay, I need some help doing this research. Like, I need to get this done. I need to get my writing done. I need information. I need some information from the students, but I don't know how to do it. You can reach out to the right people and get those things done, but you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. It's gonna take some time, some getting used to, but you will grow and you will improve. So there are resources at our school, especially for like scholarships and things like that. And sometimes it may just not work out, it may not be your time, but there are out there. You just have to do the research and get to the digging, talk to the right people, and you will find the resources.
Exactly. Now, I'm talking about now with the pandemic, a lot of us are seniors now, and we know the work environment is kind of changed with the pandemic. Do everybody feel like with them entering their career field, will it be hard to find a job, especially now with some jobs still virtual, some are going back, vaccinations, and I'm gonna start with Devin.
Um, I'm not quite sure to be honest, because there's always news anchors and always reporters being available, and I think that there will probably be jobs available because those jobs are in demand right now. Always needing them. I think we'll be okay in that career field. I think. I hope.
Faye.
Um, okay. I can go up the street and I see a sign, about four, three signs, saying that they're hiring and they need help and help is wanted, help is needed. So I do not think that it's gonna be a hard time finding a career in my field because of it is high demand for different things, different positions. Some people are uncomfortable with being face to face in person, with other people. They're taking the social distancing, like they're going to the extreme with it. They don't want to be in that position. They don't want to be touchy feely with people or just even in the same space. So they might have quit or tried to find something else, or they're working remotely and they need somebody that can be in person and do things like that. So, and I'm fully vaccinated. So if they need a vaccination card, I have it for them. So yeah, I think that there's plenty of it's going to be plenty of jobs, and there are plenty of jobs that need to be filled, positions that need to be filled.
Nick.
Yeah, I have to agree with what Faith said. It seems like everybody's hiring right now. Lots of people need help and need people to work for them. So I don't see it being too difficult finding a job. Um, so I guess I'll have to wait and see when I'm actually looking to find a career. But right now, I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to find a career after I finish school.
Right. Naya.
Yeah, same. I'll probably be able to find a job. But I also would like to say that some jobs are just not posted and they will never be posted. Some jobs are just like you have to know somebody who knows somebody in that company. They will never be posted. I mean, you can do all the research you want on these job sites, but they're not going to be posted on the site. You might have to be, a little bit hungry and go to workshop like job workshops and like job fairs to really get your name out and have like your resume portfolio whatever your card and hey give out 10 of them if you have to get the job that you want at that company because some jobs it may not be posted. So I think there's a growing demand for jobs in certain fields, and I think there will still be a growing demand and there'll be a high job rate um, opening when I graduate in 2024. So, yeah.
Raquel.
I have to say, honestly, um, for me, doing my research and doing it early, I don't think I would be able to find a job in my field around here that's local. I think it would take for me to branch out a little bit more just to find something that I know is going to be continuous and something I can devote my time to that'll be worth it. Um, I feel that maybe if more jobs was to be posted, like Anaya said, maybe my options would weigh out a little bit more, and I would be open to stay local. But until then, I feel that my search is more out from where I'm from this location. I think it's more. It takes for me to sprout out to do a little bit more networking in different areas from where I'm known from.
And then it's the thing.
Tiana,
Mm.
you okay? So
Yeah, I was going to say something. I thought you was talking.
no, go ahead. You go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
Now, because we've been through this same bulk education system our whole life. Now we're in college. Do we feel overall like that people invest enough into education? And now you want to go?
um, I say yes and no. Let's be real. America wants to make money. Okay. So they're going to invest. I mean, I am in a creative space, mass communications, humanities. They might invest money in this department, but they're going to invest mainly in like STEM, engineering, things that are going to produce money. Okay, that we need. We need doctors, we need researchers, especially with COVID and the pandemic. We need those people, bio majors, chemists. We need those things. So STEM, definitely like engineering for sure. They're going to invest that into it. So I feel like, especially in South Carolina, the South Carolina Education Board. I mean, they've invested into universities and things like that, but they can give more money specifically to HBCUs. I mean, they've given money, but there's always more money that can be allocated to our schools, especially for minorities. But their money is definitely there. It just depends on where it goes. It might go more to STEM and less to arts because a lot of people they love to watch us and see what we have going on, but they're saying, hey, we want to put more money in STEM because that's going to grow research. The numbers are going to go higher. So I think it's just a matter of the area of study. That's really important. And like the job rates and the success and things like that. You have big companies like Apple, Google, they need researchers. They need especially engineers and scientists and things like that. So of course they're going to invest more money into those fields.
Yes. Devin.
I agree with Anaya. I think it depends on the field and what more interest or where more people are interested in, like in Apple, technology, like technicians, all those careers that help America grow and help us connect better with each other. So, yeah.
Nick.
Yeah, I do think that we are largely invested in education. there's plenty of money like in scholarships and things out there if you know like where to look for it and stuff. And certainly with more fields, there's going to be more. Um, but I think that yeah, we are invested in education quite a bit.
Raquel.
Yes, I have to agree. We are largely dedicated to the education field as well because there's a lot of things that's being created every single day that we don't know about. And 9 times out of 10 in the education field that we're in now, we're finding different topics to like bring up. We're finding different ways for kids to learn. When the pandemic came out, we was set. It seemed hard from the start, but we was set. They knew what they wanted to do. They knew how they could get the education to us. It was just a matter of us adapting to it and getting used to everything. And now that we're slowly adjusting back, it seems like everyone's starting to get the feel of how it used to be, but it's a slight adapt that needs to be taken in order for us to feel that we're back in the normal.
And Faye.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of investments that have been made and are being made. I believe that a lot of people notice and recognize that kids do want to go to school. A lot of people do want to further their education, and especially since the pandemic hit, it's been hard to do that because people have lost jobs. Parents that normally come out of pocket with certain things, they haven't been able to do that, and so different funds have been put into place. Um, Now, is it as much as it could be? Maybe not, but it's been a good bit because I know that I've had a good bit of like special scholarships and special grants that have helped me, um, especially this year. So yeah, I feel like it's been some investments made.
Now we are nearing the end of our show, and we're going to go around, and this is what Tammy does every show. We want you to tell us 3 words about you. So I'm going to start with Raquel.
Okay. 3 words about me. I'm an outgoing person, if you guys haven't noticed that already. Um, I can be shy, but that's not one of my words though. I'm an outgoing person. I don't know. This is hard. Um, this is hard.
Okay, we'll come back.
Yeah, come back to me because I
Okay.
gotta think on that.
All right. 3 words. Describe 3 words.
Faye. Oh,
Faith.
Okay, so the first word I would say is intellectual. I love having deep conversations off top, off it. I don't care. You could be a stranger that just met 2 seconds ago. Once we get to talking, if keep the conversation going, I'll do the same thing, and we can talk about the stars and the moon and how they got up there. So intellectual one. The next word I feel like is contagious. Once you meet me one time, now some people may not pay attention, and that's just them. But if you are paying attention and you do take the time out your day to get to know me and actually see where I'm coming from, who I am, you're gonna remember me. Uh, and the third word I would say is outspoken. Can I add a fourth word in there? I feel like I'm poetic as well. Because spoken word, that's also my area. That's my hobby. I love it. And so yeah, so intellectual, contagious, outspoken, and poetic.
Okay. All right.
you
Next.
did Devin.
I'm saying determined. It's one of my words. I'm always determined to do stuff. I never give up. I never gave up. I'm gonna try to get my degree and move on. And also, I would say blunt. I'll tell you exactly how it is, and I'll tell you exactly how I feel, and that's how I've always been. And I'm also, mm, I'm gonna say smart. I'm also, I guess I'm smart. I,
Okay.
yeah, I can't think of anything else. So
Okay.
I
All
think,
right.
I think that's it.
3 words. That's great. Thank you, Devin and Faith.
Nick.
I'm gonna say one word is dedicated. I'm definitely dedicated in everything that I do. I try once I start something, I want to finish it and do it as good as I can. Another word I'd say is confident, and I'm just confident in the things I do, what I know, and my interactions with people. It's just I always try and do things with confidence. And the third word I'd say is just simply kind. It's kind of the most important one to me. I just always try to treat people with kindness. I think that's just the most important thing we can do in our lives. So,
And Anaya.
Intuitive, creative, intentional.
And Raquel will come back to you.
Okay. I'm outgoing, I'm determined, and I'm helpful. I believe all three of those describe me best because I'm outgoing because everything I do, I strive to do it with my most potential that I can. Um, my determination, you can tell me that I can't do it. I may know I can't do it, but I'm determined behind my mind. In the back of my mind, I'm gonna get it done. Um, my helpfulness, my helpfulness gets me in trouble. Honestly, I have to say that my helpfulness gets me in trouble because I'm such a helpful person to the point to where I may know that it may not be right, or I may see that it may be right in somebody else's eyes, but in my eyes, I'm going to help you because I know you need that help and I'm going to stand by you no matter what. That's just how helpful of a person I am.
Tiana, what's your 3 words? What are your 3 words?
I guess my three would be hardworking, goal oriented, and I'm kind of goofy, yeah, you know.
Well, listen, I appreciate you all so much. Listen, Tiana, thank you so much for hosting this segment of the
Yeah,
show. Didn't she do a good job, y'all? You give her a big hand. Thank you.
I was scared though, but
Listen, thank you all so much for being on the show. I mean, Raquel, Anaya, Devin, Nick, Faith, and of course, Tiana. You all are going to be the future lawyer, geologist. Nick, I need to tell you, you might have a future in radio as well with that voice. You know, you got a nice voice.
thank you.
Radio, TV host, Faith, personal brand CEO, Miss Anaya, and film and television producer, Miss Tiana. Devin, you are the consummate journalist. And so for all of you, congratulations. I wish you nothing but the best on your careers. If there's anything that I can do, all you have to do is reach out to me. Tiana knows how to get in touch with me, and she'll make sure. And we have Miss Amy Kelly, who's been watching the show, and she just wants you all to know that it's a great topic and panel. Thank you so much, Amy. And she said, "Goofy is good, Tiana." Okay, so thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed being on the show. Did you enjoy being on the show tonight?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Listen, we may do this again, so just be on the lookout because Tiana will be sending out and messages, and if you want to connect with me, as I said, reach out to Tiana. Again, thank you all so much for being on the show. Thank you, Tiana, for putting this together, producing this great show. All right? All right, so I'm going to take it on out. I want to thank all my viewers for being on the show. I want to thank my producer, assistant producer Tiana, and of course my executive producer Alicia. You all have always been just so great. And I really, really appreciate you. I want you to please remember, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button to the Tammy TV Show YouTube channel. And let us be a blessing to someone today and every day. I mean, I want you all to have a safe and wonderful week. Remember, be safe. Remember, wash those hands, social distance, and make sure you wear that mask. Thank you again for joining me. Until the next time, take care of yourself. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Hey, Tiana. Thank you so much. Nick and Raquel seem like they're still on. I want to thank you all so much. Tiana, you did a fabulous job. I mean, a fabulous job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hosting the second segment, you did really good. So, you know, if something comes up, Miss Tiana, you're going to have to be that host. Okay? And listen, Nick got that radio voice. You know what I'm saying? And
He's
Raquel,
also because
Raquel, I'm
this
gonna
is my
need
high
you
school
as
friend.
is that your high school friend?
Well, we
Okay,
all went to school together.
went to school together, and
The
Raquel's
one's
gonna.
from Rock Hill, and
Okay.
I met Raquel. I just put it in on our group chat. Raquel said she would do it, so I was
Well,
happy.
thank you, Raquel. Thank you. She's gonna be that lawyer, and so I'm looking forward to seeing her being a judge one day. And so, Tiana, listen, thank you again for such a wonderful panel and for doing such a fabulous job. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great, great, great. So we'll talk about next week's show. Meanwhile, you get some rest. And I know tomorrow is Friday, so study hard and enjoy your evening, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Love you much. Take care. Thank you, Tiana. Set up the show for next. You're gonna set up the show and everything for next week, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got it. And I think Raquel is off. Everybody's off, right? Okay, so I think next week I saw Dr. Hill, and I'm gonna talk to Dr. Pittman. I think I'm just gonna use them as the educators for next year. I mean next month. And I'm gonna see if they can do the show. One is the dean of business at Claflin, and the other is the dean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Pittman and Hill. Yeah, so I think they would make really great guests, and so I'm looking forward to talking with them and seeing if they would be on next week, and maybe Dr. Broughton. I don't know. Who is your instructor? Who is one of your instructors?
My professors, farewell.
Oh yeah, how's Farewell doing?
He's good, but he's not really here all the time because he moved to Arizona.
Oh yeah,
But he
that's
was
right.
here this week.
He was. So now is he teaching?
He's
So he-
teaching my senior
Virtual?
project class.
What project?
We're half senior project.
Oh, okay.
So basically, yeah, he's here once a month.
So it's virtual.
Yeah, and then we'll have in class just the once a month.
Tiana, we still on. You didn't end the show.
Oh
It
my
says
God.